Hi, I am Reese, and I am from the podcast Canadian Politics is Boring, and we have 60 seconds to hard sell you why you should listen to our comedy show. So, Jesse, have you got any reasons why they should check us out?
Absolutely not, but you told me to be more enthusiastic, so that's what I'm going to be.
It's got stories about funny politics in Canada,
Bear wrestling, aliens, alcoholics galore, seances with ghosts, dogs that are your mother, or the fact that Justin Trudeau's father might actually be Fidel Castro, or
not.
So are you driving to work, or are you on your bicycle listening to a podcast, or are you perhaps taking care of your children and you just really want to drown them out? Put us in your ear holes.
Search Canadian Politics is Boring on your favorite podcast app, or go to CanadianPoliticsIsBoring.com to check out our half-finished website.
Hey everyone, Chris Hansen here of Hansen vs. Predators and Catch a Predator. Why don't you have a seat right over there and listen to Kyle and Brandon, our podcast. According to my chat logs, Kyle and Brandon have interesting guests.
No, I hated it. Yeah. Everybody's sweaty, everybody's on drugs, so they're super sweaty but also touchy, and then they touch your face, then you leave there, and the next day you have pimples.
Fantastic conversation.
He's underground in a lab, floating in a tank of water, because he almost died.
And most important, no predators.
Here at Intoxicated Reviews, we intellectually dissect the art of cinema, scene by scene. Here's some clips.
All he is just a fucking big wooden doll full of cum, chasing kids around.
You look up guys who poop in a bag. Because I think that's where you'll find him. Because he is hurt.
It's probably just in your search history anyway, isn't it?
This movie fucking blows.
So don't forget to subscribe to Intoxicated Reviews on all places you find podcasts. Except Spotify. We're working on it.
I'm getting rehashed trauma?
Do not take product if you are hypersensitive.
Okay, Internet, and welcome back to another episode of the Intoxicated Podcast. If you're brand new to this podcast, this is a comedy variety talk show where I chat with comedians, creators, and characters. I'm your host, Sarah McClellan, and I need to quit TikTok. Sat down to do this intro about an hour ago. Couldn't stop scrolling. It's becoming a real problem, you guys. I'm hooked to the TikTok. Welcome back to the podcast. This week I have a new guest for you all. It is Evan Steeves. Evan and one of my favorite people ever, Bryan Otter, actually were visiting Halifax for a bit, and I got to see them both do stand-up, which was awesome. I love both these people. Big shout out to Bryan Otter and Evan Steeves. Just all around great dudes. And I should mention, Evan as well as Bryan hail from New Brunswick. So they are local in the sense that they are maritime comics, but they are not currently in Halifax, sadly enough. But every time they come down, we love to have them. And actually, Bryan was kind of hanging out during this episode, so you will hear him pipe in every now and then. Evan has done some live streams over lockdown, and also he was a part of the first Intoxicated live show, but it is his first time on the podcast as a guest, and I'm very happy to have this guy. This episode got really fucking deep. You know what? This episode actually comes with some homework. We actually talked a lot about attachment styles in this episode. I realized that so much of the conversation was gearing around attachment styles. And so at a certain point, we end up doing the attachment style quiz. And I'm going to link below to that so you guys can do it too. I think it's fucking important. This was a late night episode after a comedy show. It was awesome to get to know Evan and to really just like skip the small talk and just get right into it and talk a lot about ourselves and how we deal with other people, how we process emotions. I mean, guys, this was an episode all about essentially like doing self-work and figuring things out. And it was very, very fucking interesting. So the quiz is below if you want to do it. Do make sure to follow Evan on social media. I'm keeping this intro short this week. Make sure you are following the podcast on social media. Facebook and Instagram at Intoxicated Podcast, on Twitter at @in_toxicated, but obviously Instagram is the main jam. If you're so inclined, an Apple Podcast rating or review would go a long way. Do make sure you are subscribed wherever you listen. There is an Intoxicated Patreon. That is patreon.com/intoxicated. A chance to support the show financially and get some extra content in return. Check that out. Check out the YouTube channel. And let me know if you guys want more stand-up blog style videos, because I'm thinking about doing that. I did 3 or 4 main parts of like the Sarah Troy stand-up series, and honestly, like, I will, start recording again if it's something you guys are interested in. I'm truly in the thick of just like doing open mics all the time and trying to write new jokes, and it's been wild. So if it's interesting to you guys, I will certainly do more. But for now, we're going to carry on with another awesome episode. Thanks again for listening, and I hope you guys enjoy this week's episode with Evan Steeves. All right. We are rolling.
They see me rolling.
They hating.
Patrolling. Okay.
Yeah, I instantly go to the Weird Al one.
Nice. White and nerdy. Mm-hmm. That's a very apt description of your guest tonight. Evan Steeves, white and exceptionally nerdy.
That's very true.
Yeah.
Guys.
That's my announcer voice. It's like my regular voice, but more pretentious somehow.
More
nice.
animated.
Yeah. I don't really do animated most of the time.
No? I feel like I definitely have a stand-up voice, and I don't know if I like it.
Yeah. How would you describe the difference between your stand-up your stage voice?
I think more expressive and louder. I'm loud as it is, but I tend to like.
No, that's great. I'm not. I get loud when I get really jazzed about something, but most of the time I speak quietly and I have a lower register and I tend to mumble. So the overarching impression of the things that I say are, the fuck is he talking about?
Right.
Oh, I'm sorry. Is this too far away?
No, that's perfect. There was a time in the podcast that I used to not tell people about mic technique because I was too scared.
Oh, well.
But then I saw Joe Rogan like constantly lecturing his guests, like, you gotta get closer to the mic, and I was like, I gotta be more like Joe.
I have to be closer to the mic.
Just in that way.
Switch this to an ASMR episode. Should I eat snacks or crinkle paper near the microphone?
God, I love ASMR. Don't do, because I'll fall asleep. Honestly, ASMR has changed my life.
Okay, well, if you do, we'll leave the cameras running, and then we'll both run out. Because I don't want to be here while you're sleeping. That seems really creepy.
No man willing to stick around while Sarah's sleeping.
It would make me uncomfortable. I don't know you well enough yet.
That is fair.
I'm like a get to know people first and then be uncomfortable around them for the first 18 to 46 weeks. It's great.
We should open this fucking episode and tell everybody who this whispering guy is beside me. Yeah. Oh my goodness gracious. We have a brand new guest on the podcast today. Or tonight.
Tonight.
It's a late night pod. Late night pod, post midnight podcast. Please welcome to the show, Evan Steeves. What's up? Brand new guest.
Brand new. I was freshly minted for this episode. And I am neither fresh nor minty now, so here we go. You like Richie? You've done the Zoom live streams? Richie? That's an assessment. I'm just kidding. He's a nice guy. I can't help myself from making puns. I know. There's going to be a lot of them in the episode. I will pause until they hit, though, so apologies for that. That's okay. We embrace that. It's intoxicate. Like the title of the show is a pun, so we embrace puns here on this podcast. But you have done
you have done live streams, but no formal episode yet.
Yeah.
So like what me and Richie said was like that you're like a
this
half
supposed to be-
virgin. You're a half intoxicated virgin, but this is like sealing the deal.
So if I don't bleed, it's okay. Is that what's happening tonight?
I hope you bleed after this.
Cool. That sounds like a fucking threat. Thank you for that.
Emotional, cathartic bleeding is what
Is bloodletting medically okay? Is that a thing that you're supposed to like? Cathartic bleeding. I feel like bloodletting was one of those 18th century things where they just attached leeches to you and they were like, bleed, it's good for you. And then all the people died because of course they did.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of the idea of blood exiting my body in any way.
No.
Shape or form. But we also have a special kind of guest tonight too that might pop in here and there. Bryan Otter.
Good evening, everyone.
I love that switch to just my shit apartment and my couch with a Bryan Otter on it.
Man, this is such a comfy couch, dude. I was actually gonna take off and let you guys do this, but then I had a seat and smoked a joint. Now I don't want to move.
No, fucking make yourself at home, man. So Bryan Otter is gonna be
interjecting.
You're interjecting when it might add to whatever we're talking about. Or if you just want to, I mean, you have the mic. There's no on or off button. So, I mean, you can pipe in whenever you want.
So jump in and be an asshole as you feel led. What?
I feel like this is going to be dangerous for you guys.
Yeah.
No, I embrace it. I enjoy both of you guys. I'm so glad that you like made time to.
That's weird that you enjoy both of us because we both enjoy neither of us.
I thought you were gonna say we both don't enjoy you.
Oh no, that was not the case. I'm not gonna disrespect you in your own home.
We like you a lot.
I'd go outside first.
Like
no, I'm just kidding.
But you live together. You have to kind of like each other.
Yeah, we don't like ourselves.
Yeah. I love this man, but that's not funny to say. It's true and heartfelt, and that's not what we're here for. We're not here for honest, heartfelt emotions, are we? Should I be honest and heartfelt?
I feel like I'm pretty honest and heartfelt on this podcast. I mean, like the fact that 108, like this will be episode 181.
That's so many episodes.
That's so many episodes. This is too many. There's so much of my life out there. It's crazy. Like the shit that I've talked about on this podcast. Mind you, like, I don't know who's heard it because I don't know how many people actually listen to a full 2-hour episode.
That's fair.
But
or a Rogan length episode when you do those, because I have encountered a Rogan length episode of your podcast before, and it was lovely.
Oh, good, thank you.
Yeah.
Oh, it's weird because I never intend to do Rogan length.
Shit just happens.
It just happens. Like, but then because I did one recently with Thomas Kennedy. Mm-hmm. AKA, I can't fucking say his old name.
My least
Thomas
favorite
Kennedy.
politician, but he's a nice person. Sorry, there's going to be trash jokes throughout the night.
With him and I, it was like we got to like the 2:20 mark, which is usually when I would wrap up. Generally speaking, an episode. I don't turn off. My thing is I don't shut down good conversation.
Sure.
If people don't have to get places and we're having fun. And it's a good conversation, why shut it down?
So if I don't hit 3 hours, I'm a terrible guest, is what you're saying?
No. Oh, not at all. I think that there's sometimes that the conversation goes faster than what you think. And then you look at the time and you're like, oh, like we got to keep going with this.
Yeah, for sure.
You know?
We got to push for content.
But also, too, there are, like, I do find, like anything, there's a warm-up period, right? Like, that's the good thing about Rogan length episodes. If you listen to the fucking end, it gets fucking real because you've just been talking for so long.
Real and always weird.
Yeah, always really weird.
Yeah. Because it turns out on the inside, we're all just really weird balls of neuroses. And if you peel back enough layers of pomp and circumstance and nonsense, then people are just lunatics on the inside.
That's right. Which is why it's tough to say that most of the heart-to-hearts that I've had in my life have not been 20 minutes long. You know, they've been hour long, like, you know, the end of the night when you're drinking with a friend and and then you're like, you cornered someone at the party that you connect with and like you just get into it. Like that was always my intent with this show.
Yeah. Once there's 2 bottles of wine in the air, there's crying happening, but that's when the healing happens.
That's right. But
that's when the bloodletting really begins.
The cathartic bloodletting.
The cathartic bloodletting. Do you have leeches? Is that what we're working up to?
No.
Thematically, it feels like we should be.
Do you know what, though?
Have you ever been attacked by a leech?
Never. And I was a country kid. And I grew up running around the woods and stuff. I don't think I've ever had a leech on me. I don't think so. What does it feel like?
Weird, but it's like it's essentially like having a really bad fly bite at the beginning, and then someone doesn't pour salt on it or burn it, and then they just rip it out, and then it's like having a really, really bad fly bite by a fly the size of a horse.
Toonie?
Yeah.
It's I'm weird with fly bites. I actually really like getting fly bites. Yeah. I like to scratch fly bites. I don't know why.
Like as a perverse satisfaction of peeling yourself back and seeing what's inside, or just
the feeling of scratching, but also too like I think it could be an anxious thing.
You can do that without fly bites.
Oh yeah, I know. There's been like times that I've been so anxious that I've scratched like my skin to like to the point of it bleeding because I don't know.
Bloodletting.
Yeah, and I don't know what it is. That's why I love getting tattoos because I love that feeling. Because when you get a tattoo, it's not. It's a scratchy pain. It's not. Do you know do you guys have tattoos, Brian? Do you have tattoos?
Yeah, he has so many tattoos.
Do you know what I mean when I say that it's like a scratching pain?
Yeah, it feels like a really annoying cat won't give up.
Yeah, exactly. And I feel like part of it feels good.
That's fair.
I'm on board for that.
Really, really satisfying pain for me. My back is ruined. I grew 8 inches in a single summer, and it was never the same. My hamstrings are just violin strings now, and my back is ruined.
Holy fuck!
Yeah, and then I landed on my C7 spinal vertebrae a couple of winters ago, and now it's just I'm nuts. Did a show after that on all of my pain medications, and can I just say, don't. If your option is to go on prescription painkillers and muscle relaxants to a show, A, don't do it, and B, don't take your standard drink up on stage because you will black out and say some stuff that you cannot take back.
Shit.
So my apologies to Nathan Dimitrioff and all of Bathurst for that show, but I was very out of my mind.
Oh my God.
Bathurst is a huge drive from Moncton.
Okay.
And I had agreed to the show before I had fallen.
Oh, right. So you can back out?
Yeah. And I could have backed out, but my policy is if I can physically get to the show, then I get to the show, and it's my job to do the show and do a good job on the show because someone is counting on me, and they've essentially put their faith in me as a performer to put me on the show.
Right.
And fuck me for not living up to that.
I'm the same way with mostly every plan I've ever made. Okay, and so that's interesting that you say that because there's this new culture of like the joy of saying no to things. Like a lot of people say like be a yes person, but now it's becoming.
But what about the anxiety of saying no and then the guilt surrounding saying no that follows you for the rest of your life whenever you see that person and you have to look them in the eyes again and you go, oh, I ruined one of your days.
But
because having booked shows and having had people back out on me, we had an open mic once that Otter and I were booking, and 5 people backed out in the same day on an 8-person show, day of.
Fuck.
Which, yeah, that's a panic attack.
Yeah, no, that's really not cool.
And you never know what, like pretty much all of the people's reasons for backing out that day were valid. Like
right. Was sickness and stuff?
Yeah. If you're feeling terrible, I don't want you coming to the bar and shitting yourself. That's not nearly as funny as everyone always pretends it's going to be. That's just sad.
Mm-hmm.
So like, yeah, if you can't make it, you can't make it. That's fine. But there have also been people, I don't know if it was on that show or other shows, who have just sort of decided that they weren't in a place where they wanted to do comedy and then let us know that day. And you're just like that. I mean,
never booked a show like that's.
Yeah. Well, shit happens.
Shit happens.
Shit does happen, but I personally don't want to put people in that spot.
No.
Because it sucks as a spot to have been in. And so I think I'm over cautious about it, which is what happened on this show. I should have said, hey, maybe this isn't a great idea. I've been back to work for a week.
Yeah.
So maybe I shouldn't be traveling. What is it to Bathurst? Like 2:45?
It's 211 kilometers.
Yeah.
That's a long drive.
Yeah, that's a long way to sit in a car when your back is ruined.
Fucked.
Yeah.
That is, but the whole bailing or not bailing thing is interesting to me. I guess it's totally different when it's like a business thing, like with like you're on a show, but like with like general plans and stuff, I really make a point to not bail unless I absolutely have to. Like I'm the type to go when I really don't want to be there.
Yeah.
And for my friends, like to make them happy, but the danger of that is like you're gonna resent them at some point for it.
Oh, I don't.
You might not think you will, but you might.
I don't know. I feel like all of the resentment I would carry towards them, I'd just internalize against myself for hating my friends for a thing that they couldn't control.
Oh my God,
so it was my
true.
fault. And then I just get really sad about myself, and then I just appreciate them more. Because I always appreciate my friends more when I'm sad.
Where's the bell? That's a good point. It's such a fucking cycle. So
yeah,
is it
if you can take every bad thing that's ever happened to you and make it a thing that you did to cause it, then you never are angry at the people in your life. And you probably die early of a heart attack. But I feel like that means I get 10 more years to do stand-up, and then I go out on top. So fucking aiming for victory here.
Oh, aiming for victory. We're also drinking. Me and Evan are drinking on this podcast.
We are drinking. It looks like water. It's not.
It's not water. It's both of our drinks have soda water in it.
They sure do.
You're having gin, and I'm having vodka. Which is, I think that they're like cousins.
They are.
They're not sisters, but they're cousins.
That's weird, but okay.
Yeah, I don't really know what the difference would be.
I mean, juniper and other herbaceous things that people put. Gin is just vodka with shit in it. mostly plant shit. I don't know. Is it? Not know. Like shit, but like plant insides. I guess.
I believe so. Yes.
Chlorophyll and nonsense.
Yeah, all of that stuff. But you said that you have a collection. Like you tend to collect booze.
I do. I'm a whiskey person most of the time. I like gin when I don't want to drink too fast because I add mixers to it. Right. I tend to be a straight whiskey person, so I can.
Take your time with it. You sip it.
Yeah. Very much. I don't always, and that's trouble. But yeah, typically if there's good scotch in the room, I'm a sipping person. But
that's right.
With gin, I can pour myself like singles, and then when I'm anxiously drinking in conversation because I don't know what to do with my hands and or general person, then I don't get wrecked quite as quickly by my neuroses.
That's so funny. Oh my God, we're all so anxious. So are you, do you find that you're anxious?
In comedy? Yeah.
In comedy? Are you anxious outside of comedy?
Yeah, when there's people around and there are things expected of me, I'm anxious.
Okay.
So kind of a bit of a lot. Although I also hesitate to claim anxiety because there are so many people in comedy who are so much more anxious than I am, and I do tend towards sup Otter, love you, my dude.
This guy right here.
The two sides of the coin, of course, are anxiety and depression, and if I had to choose the side of the coin for each of us to be on, Otter's anxiety and I'm depression.
Oh, that's wild. Okay.
Yeah. So for me, anxiety is often useful.
Yes.
For some people, anxiety overpowers them and then they become frozen. But for me, often anxiety gets me out of the depressive and executive dysfunctional funk that I get into, and I just go, oh, I need to do the thing right now. Let's go.
You get amped.
Yeah, and then I cobble together whatever the nonsense was that's been floating around my depressed brain for 3 days, and then then I make it into something, and then I have to come back and edit all of that something later because it's trash nonsense because I cobbled it together because I was anxious, but it gives me a place to start from.
And it gives you energy. It gives you it gives you like a boost.
Yeah. I typically get out of bed in the morning for work after my last alarm has repeated 3 times because I finally have the anxiety about being late for work.
Yeah.
That gets me up and rushing.
Oh man. So are you a morning person?
No, I'm not a morning person at all. I am very much a night person.
Yeah.
Yeah,
it's a problem. I don't it's not good in my life anyway. Like I'm
no stranger. Or both?
Oh, I mean, I think I have a cocktail of those two. I think
you have a cocktail right in front of you.
I think I'm more on the depressed side than anxious.
Mm-hmm.
But I think out of all of those, I think I'm more ADD than anything else because I just found out yesterday.
I think that comes sort of with the territory.
Yeah, it does. But I actually think because whatever this. So when I was in grade 6, I remember going through testing, and I don't remember what those tests were.
Mm-hmm.
But I think that was the exact moment they missed an ADD diagnosis because they diagnosed me with something called audio processing disorder, which is very similar. Audio processing.
What?
Disorder. Oh my God.
How many times can I? Sorry. I told you there was going to be trash puns, and here we are. That is the lowest of the low-hanging fruit.
Jesus Christ.
And I couldn't stop myself. Audio processing disorder.
Yeah, audio processing
disorder.
Auditory. Auditory. Yeah, there we go. It's a hearing problem that affects 5% of school-aged children. What it essentially is, can't process what they hear in the same way as other kids do. Because their ears and their brain don't fully coordinate, which is hilarious to me.
I had that too. They just called it doesn't fucking listen.
Well, I was in a class that
I was
was very, like, the teacher wasn't strict, so she let everybody talk, and I wasn't able to concentrate because, like, kids would be chatting over here, and the teacher would be talking, and I was tuning into this.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's what they diagnosed me with. But I think I got ADHD. My mother, who's in her 70s, yesterday during dinner, because I was talking about it, I was like, I really want to try to get tested for ADD. Because I think right now, because I haven't been working for 6 months and I have to motivate myself to fucking get my life together, it's affected me more now than ever because I just don't get shit done. Right. I hyper-focus. I will do podcast stuff for hours. I will edit a video for hours. But I can't fucking spend
for jobs.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yep. Like I just can't fucking do the important things. I will push like really important things like renewing my passport. I have to fucking do that. That's been on my list for months.
Oh yeah, I've needed
to down here.
Renew my driver's license for a month and a half, but I just haven't gone because
that doesn't give you dopamine.
Yeah.
But you know what does?
And there's
making
no urgency
a silly video
yet.
And having people like it.
Yeah. And there's no urgency yet because I have until my birthday, which is like a whole month away. Like, we're fine.
Right? So, like, it's becoming a huge issue for me. And I get overwhelmed with my day every single day. And I take on too much. And I don't know how to manage all those things. And, like, it's just a real fucking problem. And I'm not a betting person, but I'd bet money on
you don't gamble?
You need money to do that. I have any gambling money right now.
No, you don't. You don't need money to gamble. You need the recklessness to make bad choices. You need money to gamble to make more money.
At a casino, yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
You don't need money to gamble with poor choices. You need alcohol and reckless intent.
I guess I do gamble sometimes.
That's how I self-sabotage for years. It's lovely.
Well, okay, so what do you mean? So, like, what's an example of that?
Have you ever gone on a bad date and then left that bad date and then gone to a bar up the street from that date and then got blackout drunk on Jameson's Irish whiskey and then gone, oh, they're building the convention center, and then hopped a fence and then climbed up 4 stairs into the in the process of being built convention center, and then got chased by a security guard and slid down an unfinished set of stairs and sprained your wrist.
I feel like this is a TikTok put your finger down situation.
It is.
You gotta make a TikTok of that.
Can I just say, story time was fine. We all knew what that meant. How about everyone keeps their fucking fingers to themselves?
In their butts.
That just gets up my butthole.
That's okay. I will say I haven't done anything to that extent, but I have used drinking recklessly, which is why I've gone to AA for it, because there was a time in my life that I would just become a monster when I would drink, and I would only drink when I was pissed.
That sort of makes the boozy nature of the podcast a little weird.
Yeah. This was post-podcast. This was pre-podcast. This was before
No,
the podcast.
that's what I mean. But like someone who's been to AA going, what do I want the theme of my talking to people show to be? What if we took talking to people and then layered in some booze? Is that
thing that gives me
positive?
issues?
Is that positive coping?
It's the AA thing. I don't think I actually was an alcoholic, or like, at the very least, problematic drinker is what I would say. Like I was, but it was more to gain perspective.
Oh, that's fair.
Because
problematic drinking is way more normal than it probably should be, but like. You seem to be doing great now.
I tend to try to stay away from alcohol when I'm having a bad day or when something's really pissing me off, because
Do you not
I spiral.
shoot the podcast when you're having a bad day?
Usually takes me out of my bad day.
It fixes your day?
Yeah, because where I get my dopamine hits is from talking to people and connection.
Oh, mine's the opposite.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So this is hell for you right now.
Yeah, sort of. I mean, I'm having a great time because you're an excellent host, and I'm feeling comfortable, as comfortable as I can be in a place I've never been before, talking to someone I don't know
with
that well.
Lights shining on you, and Bryan Otter's listening.
I mean, he's my
chauffeur.
No, I was gonna say emotional support Otter.
Oh my god,
Evan's broken and doesn't talk about his feelings, so I force him to.
He's doing pretty good so far.
I'm impressed.
Yeah, well,
listen. My biggest challenge is Robbie Vino. He's very tough nut to fucking get to open up.
He doesn't seem like he would be. Like he seems to be a very forthright guy on practical matters, but he and I have never had a very emotional conversation.
It's hard to talk about traumas when you don't have any.
Yeah, I also the phrase "tough nut" is very. The temptation there is almost too high.
It's a little too high, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. No, it's just some people.
And a really high tough nut, I think, means you're on cocaine.
I want to learn how to make those. Okay, I have.
Can we get jean jackets?
I feel like I have a lot to talk about with you. Because you're one of my TikTok friends.
Yes, we are TikTok friends.
And TikTok has taken over my world in the sense
really?
that
it did for me briefly, but I've fallen out of it. I haven't posted on TikTok in ages.
I haven't posted. Well, I actually just posted today. I posted a roller skating video, but it's for me. It's the watching it.
She was a skater girl.
It's the watching it. It's the scrolling, and then so I want to know when you were watching it. Or when you because was there a time that you were watching a lot of TikToks?
Yeah.
Okay. What areas of TikTok did it suggest for you? Did the algorithm send you certain things?
So I got joke TikTok, I got activist TikTok, and I got gay TikTok. We're pretty much actually. It wasn't really gay TikTok. It was more the lesbian half of gay TikTok, which I think is very apt for me. When I was living in Halifax, my 7 best friends here were all gay women.
Okay.
Yeah.
Weird brag.
No, not a weird brag. That was just like I became really good friends with a lovely lady named Shannon, and she was like, "These are my friends," and I was like, "These people are amazing." Yeah. It's like. imagine the casual comfort of hanging out with guys without all of the horrible misogyny and hatred towards other people. Yeah, it's great. So what I would say is to anyone who knows lesbians, cherish them. They're wonderful. And yeah.
I would say the same for gay men, for straight women.
That's fair.
Honestly, I feel like, yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, also just find people. I mean, we don't have to make it about sexuality.
Find people who are emotionally supportive and are open to teaching you new things and new perspectives, which is essentially what I got out of it, right?
That's what it is, because they're coming from a totally different perspective than you on both ends.
Yeah.
You know, and so, yeah, I think that's so important to have friends like that.
Yeah. That was one of the first times, not one of the first times in my life. It was one of the most sort of safe friend groups that I've ever been in, sort of emotionally. Like it's one of the friend groups where everyone was just, how are you feeling? Are you okay?
Oh, I love that.
It seems like you've had a shit day. And then I could be reciprocal in that without being flamed for it.
Right.
Which is super nice. And I've had individual friendships that have been like that preceding that.
Right.
But never
not a
community,
like a community.
Yeah, that just was there to support each other and really was kind and wanted to sort of dig into the weird backstory and be like, hey, what's your life like? What's really going on? Instead of just going, hey, do you remember this time you did this thing in 7th grade and you were an idiot? And I was like, I'm not that person anymore. And they're like, haha, but you were.
Like people who live kind of in the past. Like there's some people, like there's some friendships that are so based in the past that it's just going to be a stagnant friendship. Like I've hung out with people like where I'm like, okay, I really enjoy these people, but like we keep talking about college memories and like we're in our 30s now and like we're more fucked up than ever. Like truly, like adulthood in your 30s, it's fucked. I've been finding anyway. I haven't had a breath yet in life where I've gone.
That's fair. I gave up on breathing years ago. It seemed really counterproductive to what I was really trying to get done. It's like, could I just go without the oxygen and then let the dark void take me? Take me home.
Take me away.
Country roads.
Great song.
To the hell where I belong.
That's right.
Yeah.
So, okay, gay lesbian TikTok.
Yeah.
And then
TikTok,
what did you say?
Joke TikTok and activist TikTok.
Activist. What was the second one you said?
Joke TikTok.
Joke. Okay, so stand-up jokes?
Stand-up jokes, just jokes, and then weird sketch comedy nonsense.
I'd like to get more of those. I'm going to start interacting with more comedy stuff.
What do you get?
So I get I get a lot of Taylor Swift stuff.
That tracks for you for sure.
I get a lot of mental health stuff. Like a lot of people talking about mental health, but also like funny meme-ish.
Mental health stuff is by association on gay TikTok.
Oh, is it? Oh, they go hand in hand.
I think so.
Yeah, and there's a lot of people using TikTok to talk about mental health, and it's fascinating to me.
Well, yeah, it's a whole group of people who have decided that to be truthful to themselves, they have to be performative for others, which that's the mental health game there is not strong. It's almost like there's another group of people we know who need to seek the validation of others to feel whole in their life, and some of them are mentally ill as well.
That could be me.
You feel attacked, Otter? You feel attacked that bringing joy to others is the thing that brings you joy?
I'm just over here watching videos of cats make espresso.
Otter, that's our mission statement: bringing joy to others to make others feel better. Yes to all of what you're saying. My mind has been open a little bit wider.
Sorry, do I get to ring the
bell?
bell?
Yeah, absolutely. Okay. Absolutely. Since watching, have you watched The Social Dilemma yet?
No.
Well, that's just like, I mean, it's not much new information. Like, I always knew social media was fucking evil and like how it hooks you in and it like gives you these little bursts of dopamine and it sends you notifications about your crushes posting. And,
is it inherently evil?
Yes.
I feel like social media is less inherently evil and more like cocaine. So I think social media is not evil, but the people who profit off social media are evil. Do you know what I mean? Like all they're doing is setting up a series of effectiveness parameters without double checking what the emotional implications are for those effectiveness parameters, right? Like what you said about the crush is something I've experienced, not with a crush, but with ex's wedding photos, which is really fucked up. But what they're doing is they're going, what associations can we make to increase time on site, right? Because they get paid by advertisers for time on site.
Right, exactly.
So the longer you're there and the longer you're there before you click away, the more money they make.
They will make.
So all they're trying to do is maximize time on site because they don't have any other metric, right?
Yeah.
That's the only thing. Engagement is nonsense because all they're doing is keeping you there, right? They're going, what we're trying to drive engagement. No, what you're trying to do is keep people on the site for as long as possible because that's how you make your money.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, and there's something to be said for it is what you make it, and you have to make your the decisions for your life.
I'm not disagreeing
with
the fact that there's an overall negative repercussion.
Yeah.
I'm just saying the ability to connect at all times is not inherently negative.
No.
But the fact that there's nothing built around that to safeguard like any sense of decency is a little fucked. Yes. However, what we've done is incentivize these companies with literally nothing but money and give them no rules. And I mean, even Google's old adage, "Don't be evil," was never shared by Facebook. I think Facebook's adage was always just make a lot of fucking money, and they do a great job of it. But because we haven't as a society created a regulatory platform or a sense of this is what we actually want out of a social media app.
Right.
No one has gone, I think we should do it better. And so we always end up with the one with the most money because they have the ways to make good updates and stay in
That's right.
Keep promoting themselves so they can make more and more money.
I also gotta say it's highly crazy that like I've been trying to find apps to time how much time I spend on certain apps. Like I would say Instagram, TikTok, and Facebook are the big time suckers for me. Twitter's not an issue. I don't spend a lot of time on Twitter, but like I would like to actually like have a timer that's like you get an hour a day overall. For the whole day, 1 hour, because I'm spending a ridiculous amount of time on there as it is. It's shocking, actually. It is, if you look at like the time you spend.
Oh, yeah.
You just look at your life and you go,
I get a notification about screen time from my phone, and I just go, how are there that many hours in the day?
Right? Isn't that wild?
But it turns out I default open apps.
Yeah.
Right? When I get bored, which is a lot of the time because my brain isn't wired up right, I'll just flick open.
Not wired right. Woo!
Not wired right. I'm wired up to be interesting.
Yes.
I don't know if that counts for anything, but I am not wired up to be super.
So you just kind of just out of instinct open. Yeah, same. But it's
I'm not on it anymore because I have met a lovely lady since then. But
dating apps.
Yeah, what was really scary for me is the time in my life where the app that I default opened because I was bored was Tinder. that recognition hit me, and I was like, "Ooh, we're deleting this app for a couple of months. That's too much." Just because window shopping for people is amazing. It's the best thing that there is. You just get to go. You get to choose or reject someone based only on a photo, and you can do it as cursorily or as in depth as you would like, and you get to be in control of this immediate relationship so long as you're swiping.
That's right.
No one can reject you because you're choosing or rejecting people as you want.
Yeah,
and
it
then the
feels
reality,
powerful.
Yeah, exactly.
It feels fucking powerful.
Yeah. And it's the best game, except treating relationships with people like a game is super fucked up and toxic. So like the deleting of the app needed to happen.
I literally said, I was showing Tinder to Richie when he was on, and I was like, he's like, how do you get, because he swiped on someone, and he's like, how do you get back? And I was like, oh, you got to just click get play again or whatever. Like I was like, that's literally what it feels like. It's like play again.
Yeah.
Like they've wild.
Gamified dating, which is...
I hate it.
Probably socially ruinous. But again, it's a thing that it hits all of the dopamine receptors. And because we don't, as a society, have any, like, no one goes, hey, we should probably talk to a psychologist before we release this app that's going to make randomly bucking single people in your area not just an ad for Russian prostitutes anymore. You know, it's not good for anyone emotionally, but it feels good to do the swiping thing. And then a lot of people stopped dating in real life after Tinder became a thing, and then you default had to go on dating apps to meet people, and it's such a toxic space.
Really
I mean,
is.
I met my girlfriend on Tinder.
Okay.
And she's great, and we have a lovely relationship. But I think that's sort of in spite of Tinder, and it's more we were both on Tinder at the same time, looking for the same thing,
right?
And sort of trying to wade through all of the inherent nonsense that is Tinder. And there's no way to know what sort of person you're talking to until you're like 3 days into the conversation, or you meet them for a walk in the park during a quarantine.
But even then, you don't know. Like, this is the thing. Like, I've had... there was a certain time in my life that I had this great, like, this idea to, like, make a super dating app that was very intuitive. And, like, what you had to do was you had to answer questions to sign up. And, like, the questions would be fucking detailed. It would be like, what are you looking for? Also, okay, you're looking for a relationship. Cool.
Isn't that just a dating service?
Well, I mean, I was just kind of just thinking of ideas for dating apps.
Yeah.
Like, I was thinking about all the features of all the apps. And I was like, how can we combine these? I mean, fuck Bumble. I'm not a Bumble. Fuck that shit. I hate that app. It's my least favorite one.
Really?
Absolutely.
You would take Tinder over Bumble?
I cannot be making the first move. 100% no.
You can just do what every girl I ever matched with on Bumble did and just say, hey. And then wait for the dude to make the first move anyway, because fuck the pretense of the app.
Well, I number one, never got a lot of matches on there, which is wild, because like I would be on all three apps at the same time, and I would see all the same men on Bumble.
Which three? We do mean Hinge, Tinder,
Bumble.
Yeah.
I would be on the same ones, but like I would just never get matches on Bumble.
Okay.
It was very hard for me to. I think it's because like the men are more high quality on there.
No, I think the men.
I think
the men are the same men that are on Tinder and on Hinge.
I think Tinder is full of worst men. I think Tinder is filled with like everybody. I think Bumble is filled with like hot lawyers and like business students, and comedians.
Yeah, because
comedians
are just
on there.
Desperate to talk to anyone.
And Hinge is, I don't know, I think Hinge is the best out of all of them in terms of you get a better sense of the person overall.
That's very fair. What I found when I was on Hinge is that I tended to discount people before talking to them when they had something about something that I have an inherent bias against.
Yeah.
Which was problematic, but it did give me a better sense of the people, of the things I wanted to talk about to the people I wanted to talk.
That's right.
to.
And you also made that decision not just based on a picture. you base it on a response to a prompt or something like that, which is like so much better.
Yeah. Usually the yes was to the picture. It was the no after that was to the prompts, which is not a great thing about me as a person.
Like, but that's just humans. That's just humans in general on there.
Oh, we're all garbage? Cool, that's fine then.
Well,
I feel better.
We're all like just conditioned to swipe on people we find physically attractive.
Yeah, I mean, no one's like, hey, what if I go on this dating app that brings me a fuck partner if I could just try and fuck someone I'm not sexually attracted to whatsoever?
Right, exactly.
And I mean, there's a huge intellectual component to sexual attraction for me, at least.
Ooh, okay.
Oh yeah, I'm not a casual sex person, which is probably to my detriment, but I
don't think so.
Yeah.
Well, like, what do you mean is to your detriment?
It just makes me regret a lot of experiences I've had, but that's fine. I tend to I fuck with my heart.
Oh, okay, got you.
Which is
do you get attached when you have sex with somebody?
No, I just don't have sex with them unless I'm attached.
Okay, actually, I'm the same way. I actually think that I'm pretty demisexual.
I mean, I have. I just regret it afterwards.
You regret it?
Yeah.
Yeah. I do need kind of a little bit of an emotional connection to be attracted in general. Like, I need to feel safe, and I need to feel like the person hears me, and all of this, and it's hard. It's hard for me to want to fuck someone who I haven't had conversations with, like good conversations, or talked a bunch with.
The people who can just casually meet someone in a bar and then take them home and immediately more power to them. And I am very good friends with several of them, and they are having a great time. Yeah. They love it. And there's nothing, I don't have a moral opposition to casual sex.
That's right.
For me, if you get your dopamine where you can find it.
Yes.
You put the capital D in dopamine if that's what gets you there, right? I just can't.
Not for you.
And I think that's a pent-up emotional repression deal for me, which is like, that's my baggage, which is fine. It's just
now
part of who I am as a person.
Where do you think that comes? Does that come from getting burned?
No, pretty much all of the people that I've dated are just lovely human beings. A lot of them, it hasn't worked out because of timing and personality, and it just wasn't, the thing at the time. And also, I used to be a big fucking idiot, so I've torched some of my better relationships. The thing with the convention center and the sliding down, because I was sad and then I self-sabotaged. It's that, but like on an emotional level. So that's torched a couple of relationships for me. But in general, all of the people I've dated have been absolute sweethearts. So it's not that. It's sort of an inherent issue, I think, that tracks probably further back than that.
Oh, that's interesting. Well, I mean, the fact that you're aware of it, and like, did you do anything? Like, obviously, you're very happy in a relationship now, but like, did you do anything before entering this relationship? Any like self-work stuff that helped you get to that happy? Because I want that happy relationship. Like, but I've been doing self-work on myself for fucking years. And it's not getting me anywhere in terms of
I don't think I did any self-work. Like, it wasn't I was a broken person, and then I did self-work, and then the result of that self-work was me finding a relationship. That's 100% the opposite of what
Crazy.
happened.
Okay.
Yeah. I think I had been single for a decent chunk of time. Like, I hadn't had a serious relationship in 6-ish years, probably longer. And I just ended up in a place in my life where I was really looking for a more settled relationship. and I met someone who was my brand of weird, who was also looking for.
So it just worked out. It was just, it was timing, and it worked out.
I mean, relationships are pretty much all timing, I think.
And I just, because I just get told so much, you really just got to work on yourself, Sarah. And every time I get told you got to work on yourself, and people think that I'm like not confident, have low self-esteem, and it's like, yes, I don't have the best self-esteem. I do have some though. Like
I think
you know, like
yeah.
I got you know, like it's not a total disaster.
No, it's fair. I mean,
being self-deprecating doesn't help, certainly.
I'm in a happy relationship and I have no self-esteem, so that's
so
like
thing.
it's not inherent. I think the self-worth and the finding a relationship that you can be happy in, because I think that's different than finding a happy relationship. I don't think happy relationships are a thing that exist. I think you find a relationship that you can be happy in, because it's like finding someone who can solve all your problems is a fucking
No, you're very,
show,
very right. And it's always there's always gonna be things to work on. But it's
and I think the doing
fit.
the doing of the self work is not for the finding of the relationship. It's for the being whatever your version of happy and mentally stable is on your own, so that you can be happy and mentally stable when there's a person around you who can also be happy and mentally stable. Not that I'm inherently happy or mentally stable, but I'm in a place now where I'm more mentally stable than I have been.
There you go. Mm-hmm.
Sort of throughout my life, and that's just a growth.
And the working on yourself would actually make you a more open person to invite new people into your life. You know, like that's part of it too, is just being open to it. Because I know for me, it's
I don't know that that's. Sorry, I'm projecting myself into this. I'm really not an open person. What I'm doing now is this is a podcast, and being open on a podcast is the thing I'm supposed to do.
Yes.
The same thing I do on stage to get over the fact that I'm terrified of being on stage and terrified of being myself is that I'm performatively open, right? Being truly open for me doesn't happen until I feel the safety of the last sip of a bottle of scotch, which is not great about me as a person, but tends to be true. I am not. I'm not an open person in general, but I can say things about me so long as I get to control the things and get to rationalize them out afterwards, and can do damage control about who I am as a person, which is, it's great.
Well, I guess
how do people end up in stand-up again? Oh, right.
I know, right? I guess what I meant by the open thing was, like, you decided you want a more serious relationship.
Yeah.
And you made the effort to meet people on Tinder, which I think there's the step there that a lot of people who are like single for a long time don't make. They just give up on online dating, and they don't even want to deal with it. They don't even go on dates. They don't even try to meet people.
I did that for 6 years.
Yeah. So
right?
you
I mean, I was on Tinder because I wasn't on Tinder the whole time.
Exactly.
Like, I would sporadically jump in and out.
That's right.
But I was not always jumping in and out with
intent.
Yeah. And even when I joined for the last time before I met my girlfriend, it wasn't now I'm ready to go meet someone.
Okay.
It was just I hope I meet someone this time, but I have ended up in bad situations by trying to go, I'm ready for a relationship, and then forcing it with the first person who was nice to me.
Right.
And then going, right, we're bad for one another. This has been a fun 6 weeks or whatever, but I'd rather we didn't embitter ourselves to one another and then end up in a brutal murder homicide.
Oh my God.
Murder suicide. Murder homicide is just 2 murders.
Yeah, seriously though.
Yeah.
What is being like you said that you're not, like you talk about you talk openly, but you're not actually open.
Oh, performative honesty?
Performative honesty. Like what is true openness to you?
I think to be truly honest, you have to say things without concern for the person's reaction, which is not to say sociopathically scream whatever you want at the person without caring about their feelings, because there's a lot of people who go, I'm just being honest, that's just my opinion, and you're just like, no, what you did was you were mean, and now you're claiming that comes from a place of honesty, and even if it does, you go, I'm hurt, so I get to tell you that you're a terrible person. No, don't do that. But I don't know.
Yeah.
But you have to know that the person you're talking to isn't going to judge you or remove their support, and you can just say the thing you have to say without having to alter it to avoid negative consequences. Do you know what I mean?
Oh, that's interesting.
Whereas I feel like most of the time, at least for me, there's always some alteration, maybe not of the facts, but the delivery of the facts.
How you say it.
Yeah, that's performative in that I don't want people to think less of me. Right?
Oh, that's fascinating.
Yeah. So like the story earlier. We got all of the details in a fun and interesting way, and not a deep dive into how
the convention center?
Yeah, how reckless it is to do that, and how sad I was at the time, and how depression fueled
that.
Recklessness is a trend in my life that has sort of hurt me in the past. Like, we didn't go through any of that, and we probably won't, because I'll get deeply uncomfortable, because that's not how I wanted to spin that story, right?
No, yes.
I want it to go, I do crazy things sometimes.
Yeah. Well,
I'm a wild and crazy guy, which is Steve Martin line.
How are you currently managing the depression? Like, are you on medication, therapy? Like, what's your...
I tell jokes sometimes. That's not a great way to do it, but what I've...
It's therapeutic, though.
It's for some people it's just therapeutic, but I like to make people laugh too.
Good. Andrew Vaughn would be proud. He always said comedy is not therapy, but it's therapeutic.
Yeah,
you should be getting real therapy.
I was so scared of that man for such a long time, and that's
really?
I know that's such a, I don't want to say a universal, but that's such an existing perspective within the Halifax scene, because he was such a tentpole of the scene for such a long time. But I never pursued a personal relationship with Vaughn, only because he scared the shit out of me.
Can I ask why?
Because I started in Halifax. That's where I started doing comedy, and I was terrified of all of the bigger comics when I first started, because I'm anxious in social situations, and I thought if they didn't like me, then I would fail at comedy, because I'd become too anxious to go do spots, and then I'd just never continue, and it would all fall apart. And so I thought, if instead people only peripherally knew me, then there wasn't the chance that they would learn to hate me.
That's right.
So I could just be performative the whole time, and then never have to pursue in-depth emotional relationships with people, and then I could just get to do the thing I wanted to do without the
pressure and the stress and the anxiety.
I mean, lots of pressure and stress and anxiety, because I was a ball of nerves when I first started. I used to visibly shake when I was on stage, like holding the microphone,
I still shake.
Doing this. I still shake, but I lock my arms now, so it goes to my right leg. So you can see my heel vibrate, but you can't really see it unless you're looking for it, or unless you're in the very, very front row and you're paying attention.
When did you start?
It would have been February of my second year in Halifax. I think 6 years ago, something like that.
6 years, damn.
2014, give or take. I don't know if that math is true, but I think so in my head.
Okay.
No, 2016. That makes more sense.
Okay. So
yeah,
that'd be 4 years.
4 years ago. Yeah.
4 years.
A while ago.
Into comedy.
Yeah.
What spurred the actual decision to do it?
Dan Hendricken.
Really?
Actually. Yeah.
Hendy?
Yeah. Dan's a lovely human being.
Dan is lovely.
Who bullied me into doing stand up.
Did he
for the first
really?
time. Yeah, he did. In like the nicest possible way. Right? That's Dan. He's very intimidating, but like in with good intentions.
See, that's wild to me because I'm actually not intimidated by Dan. The first time we physically met was we did a live stream first date together.
Oh, that's fun. Yeah, I was deeply intimidated by Dan because he was one of the funny guys, and I just wanted to be, one of the. That was always my my hope in starting comedy. I didn't like a lot of people want a lot of different things out of comedy. I think, like a lot of people want to be. Want to feel accepted in the community, right? There's a lot of people, estranged loners, who come to comedy because they want a weird, fucked up family. And I've ended up with a weird, fucked up.
That's fucking true.
Yeah, and I've ended up with a weird, fucked up family, and I love all of the people I know through comedy so dearly.
Yeah.
Because I see so many parts of myself in all of them, and we have so many cool shared experiences. And then there are the people who try comedy for the first time because they think their opinions are valid, and those people are usually racists, unfortunately. Like the people who go up on their first night with just all confidence and no jokes, and they just go, "So what are women about?" And you're just like, "Oh, this is." Please stop. So those people start, but don't typically last long. I mean, some of them do.
Also, people who just like the attention.
Yeah. There's a huge attention thing, but I just had always obsessively loved comedy growing up. Like I like jokes.
Yes.
I just like jokes.
That's right.
And I had always just wanted to be one of those guys, right? Not necessarily one of the guys, but just one of those guys. Right. And so everyone who was an established comic in the scene when I first started was God to me. And like many early religious figures, I just didn't want to make God angry because that's how people get smoked. And I ain't here to get smoked.
That's okay. So you started in Halifax. So you were.
I started in Halifax. My starting story was I was at Dal at the time, and Hendricken was running the show at the Grad House at the time.
Oh, okay.
And I had been going week after week after week, and then he had noticed that, and I was like had gone up and was chatting with him after the show, and he goes, "Do you seem like a person who's like working up to trying comedy?" I was like,
keen observation.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Fucking, how did you know that? How sad and desperate are my eyes? And he was like, "Cool. Do you have any jokes written?" I was like, "I mean, I have a few in a notebook." He goes, "Cool. You're doing 5 minutes next week."
Oh my gosh,
I was
Dano.
like, I was like, "Can I do it in a month so I can like feel ready and like I don't have that many jokes yet? Like I'm gonna have to." And he just goes, "No, you're doing 5 minutes next week or don't come back."
Shut up.
Yeah,
That's pretty aggressive. Yeah. But you know what I gotta say? It works sometimes because
it's super effective.
My first set was kind of similar in that it wasn't planned. I didn't have no intention of going up this night, and I was just going to watch.
that was a week out, so I had planned.
Oh, okay.
Right?
Yes.
Like I had started to talk to him to ask about how one got into it.
Right. But in the sense that someone bullied you into it, I had a similar thing.
Yeah.
With mine, where I
can't imagine he would have enforced it. Like
Dan?
Dan's a sweetheart. He'd have been
probably
like,
not. Yeah.
Keep coming back forever. The donation jar's there. You fucking coward. I imagine how that would have gone. That's me pretending to be Dan with none of Dan's intentions and all of my intentions.
For me, it was Matt Baker. Matt Baker, like I went to this open mic.
You fell for that hair too, did you?
Well, I went to this open mic and there was one spot, and my plan for set was the next week, and he was like, "There's a spot, you want it?" And I was like, and I had this moment of like, maybe, and he's like, "Okay, sweet, you're up." I literally wrote my name down, and I was just like, "Okay, I guess that's it. I guess I'm doing this." And like,
this is what we're doing.
It's kind of I feel like kind of a really good way to do it because you just fucking rip that Band-Aid off, right?
Yeah. I mean, yeah, I remember not much from my first set.
Me neither.
I was so nervous. I have hated public speaking my entire life. Did like some weird theater stuff and some weird improv stuff, but have never been more anxious than when I have to go speak publicly because I have to present my opinions and then be judged by others,
and you have to be funny.
Oh, I just meant like at all things,
general, right?
Always.
Mm-hmm.
So when I first started going on stage, or back when I did other stuff beforehand, or like class presentations or anything, it's just like flop sweat, panic, like heart racing, can't live,
hate it,
like tunnel vision out. I get really bad anxiety when I'm not doing well on stage, and when I get anxiety I tend to forget things. So I tend to keep notes with me, which I know is a crutch, and Otter has been very, very open in telling me that that's a thing I need to stop doing. He's not even listening anymore.
I sure am.
Cool. But what happens is I get anxious and then I forget.
So you freeze.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And if I have a prompt to bring me back, then I can go into my next joke.
There you go. Yeah.
And I don't need the whole set list. It doesn't need to be written out. I just need to go, what the fuck was I going to say next? Right. And then I can drag myself back through the moment. But yeah, I tunnel visioned out most of my first year in comedy.
Wow.
Yeah. I still do every now and again, but that's only when shows are fucking catastrophic.
We got to talk about the last show we did. Well, actually, not the last one, the second last one. So you guys came up. So Bryan and Evan came up. And we all did the District 5 show in Dartmouth.
Yeah, we did. That was a lovely show.
And had quite the...
Otter just rolled his eyes all of the way into the back of his head, and now you can see his...
Sit on the couch. There you go.
Fuck Corey.
Not Corey West, my excellent co-host of Intoxicate Reviews.
Oh, no, he's dope. I'm talking about drunk Corey.
There was a man at the show whose name was Corey, who screamed throughout everyone's sets. Mostly Kyle Carpenter's for some reason.
Oh my
Apparently,
God, it was
Kyle
so
just
bad.
looked welcoming and heartwarming enough that this guy was just like, what if I just ruined his whole fucking night? Anyway, screamed through everyone's sets.
Kept talking back to people, kept like interrupting punchlines and like...
Oh yeah, couldn't be silenced. The people who worked at the bar dragged him away from the stage multiple times, and he just screamed from the back and then came back up to the front. And it was overall like not an ideal time. That stuff doesn't bother me as much anymore.
You were very steadfast in just telling him to shut the fuck up, which I was like,
kudos
to you for that.
I got sick of him after a while. And also, once the audience is sick of someone, then you always get a laugh from saying exactly what everyone in the room is thinking.
Very
true. It's much easier to do. If you do that too early, then the audience can turn against you. But also there was like 6 people there, so I wasn't that worried about it because they all hated that man.
I was, I gotta say, quite terrified to go up.
Yeah, that's really hard as someone who's new.
I was very scared, and I was just very grateful that he wasn't right at the front for me because he was actually...
Yeah, he was in the back for yours.
He was still yelling throughout the whole thing.
Oh, yeah.
And I just went, Sarah, just say the jokes. Just get the jokes out.
Yeah.
I was like, I just want this to be over with, and I just rushed through everything, and wasn't the best, but
that's usually a really good strategy, though, especially at the beginning.
Yeah.
When I was newer, I had several interactions with hecklers that did not go my way.
Ugh.
Only in that sometimes I would just interact with them, which encouraged them to keep yelling shit out. And then sometimes I would go way too aggressive, which also is not great because then they get angrier and angrier and angrier. And then either the audience turns on you because they think you've been unfair to the person because you're angry and it carries through.
Right.
And it also completely torches the energy of most people's jokes. I try to be like the devil having a good time when I'm up on stage because I say some horrendous shit, but I do it in like a low energy, having fun kind of a tone, which is just, I mean, I'm low energy and I'm trying my best to have fun up there. But once you're low energy having a bad time, the dark jokes don't play well. People hate them.
Right.
Yeah. Right. So being hateful to people is not always like, you have to be able to go, hey, you're stopping us from having a good time. Now back to having a good time.
That's right.
Is always a thing that's worked for me, and letting the negativity into the telling of the jokes typically just makes things worse. And then once you've interacted with a heckler and then you start not doing well, then it gives them all of the power because now the audience has turned on you because they're no longer having a good time, or has not turned on you, but the dynamic has changed because they're not as actively on your side. Has been my experience. I also don't want to speak for all people dealing with hecklers ever. And there are so many people better qualified to do that than me. But that's just been my experience because I've had a really rough go at dealing with hecklers. I haven't had lots of hecklers. I just was real bad at it for a while.
Yeah, I mean, like, that's the thing. I have no fucking idea how to deal with them.
You did the right thing.
I just powered through. I just powered through, and I was just so scared of just getting thrown off. And I was scared of what you said about, like, getting thrown off and then forgetting.
Yeah.
Or freezing. Freezing is something that, like, I've been scared of since I started. Luckily enough, it hasn't happened yet.
Oh, happened to me my second set.
But I know it's coming. Like, I know that really bad, bad set is coming, and I just keep trying to brace myself for it. I have a feeling it's probably going to be at Gus's.
Does that bother you at this point?
Yes, because I haven't had the standard stand-up experience of, like, kind of like you, like, you know, seeing the comedians and being like, oh, yeah. Like,
yeah, because you know all of them
because I was friends with them first. So, to me, they're not gods.
Yeah. No, that's fair.
No offense.
If I'm God, the world is in trouble. But
I've had totally different, and like I've done it backwards.
Like,
I've done
Travis
it backwards.
Still intimidates me, and you and he get along great. So like it's a whole different thing. I'm sure he'd be appalled to hear that. Love you,
well,
Travis, you're the best.
I mean, I just did things backwards. Like most people, you know, they see a show, they like comedy, they then see kind of the process, and they try it, and then they slowly get into that.
Because I've seen a lot of people try to
don't.
start stand-up who have no idea what the process is. They've seen one Bill Burr special, and they're like, so do I just say the N-word? And we're all like, no!
Right?
And then some of them do, and it's real bad. Hosting open mics is weird.
Oh, I mean, that's something that I like hosting, just the experience of hosting in general, is like, I mean, I've hosted my live shows, which Robbie was up there with me as an anchor, but like, it's a different experience.
Is that okay?
Yes, a snack away, as long as we can have a little ASMR break. That's my only requirement if you're going to snack. Oh, fuck yeah.
This is Evan Steeves does ASMR.
I'm going to plug this in and listen.
Please don't fall asleep like you said you were going to. That would make me deeply uncomfortable. Okay, I'm gonna snack now because I'm super hungry. I haven't eaten since brunch.
Fucking something is stuck in my interface. So I took this to Oasis for the debate show, and Richard fucked around with it to get it so that I had 5 mics on stage.
Mm-hmm.
And this metal thing is stuck in my headphone jack, and I don't know how to get it out. So
do you own pliers?
I do.
I feel like that is we could fix that. However,
I don't know
if we don't need headphones right now, maybe that's
we're not
gonna solve that problem after.
That's a later problem.
Mm-hmm.
That is a later.
Oh, that's a problem for later, Sarah. that poor girl. She has so much to do.
Do you carry snacks with you at all times?
Sort of. Not always when I'm walking around, but I always have snacks in the car. I have a bunch of really pain in the ass dietary restrictions.
Yes.
So
can we list them off?
Yeah. I mean, there's not that many. There's I have celiac disease and I'm lactose intolerant.
I mean, that fucking sucks though. Those two together.
Yeah, it pretty much makes 98% of convenience foods
out of the question.
Out of the question, yeah.
What can you get at McDonald's?
Nothing. Literally nothing.
Literally nothing? Not French fries?
No, they dust their fries in milk powder.
Fuck.
Like fucking ass.
Seriously?
They also fry everything in the same fryer.
Fuck.
Right? So I can't have even homemade fries if they're done in a fryer that also does onion rings. Then it's not worth the risk for me.
What about salads? I know fast food salads aren't the best, but like, what about? Could you do a salad?
I can't do almost any of the dressings.
Oh my God, Evan! Shit.
And salads are salads are so inconvenient to eat while you're driving.
They really are.
Which is a huge.
That would not be
ass.
safe. That would not be.
Especially if you want to get to a place and have an outfit you can still go on stage in that isn't covered in vinegar and balsamic vinegar and olive oil.
Right. So when did all this did the dietary stuff has been all your life, or when did this spring up?
It developed for me sort of in 8th grade ish, and got worse and worse and worse and worse. And then I was finally diagnosed ish in 2nd year of undergrad. Because when I was in my 1st year of undergrad in St. John's, I went to go give blood, and the nurse tried to send me to the hospital. Because she was like, yeah, your red count is so low, you can't possibly give blood. I don't know how you're standing here. Are you okay? And I was like, yeah, I feel fine. This is normal.
God.
She was like, this isn't normal. Are you tired all the time? Do you black out sometimes? I mean, I was living in St. John's, Newfoundland, and drinking all the time, so I blacked out always.
Oh my God.
But I still gray out really bad if I don't take care of myself. Like
Jesus.
I forgot to drink water for a morning this week and stood up too fast and just woke up on the floor. Not woke up.
So is that
but could feel myself going down and then sat and laid down and then
oh my God.
came like my vision tunneled back out.
Jesus.
Yeah, it's great. Highly recommend.
What so obviously you got to drink a lot of water. What are the on a daily basis, what is the best version of you taking care of yourself? Like, is that eating regular meals?
I mean, for everyone, it's
yeah,
drinking lots of
it
water
should be that.
and eating regular meals.
It should be that, eh? Not me.
And it. Are you sure?
I'm really bad with eating.
Yeah, but is that the best version? Like, the version of healthy for you
would be 3 meals a day, but I usually don't do that.
So I don't either. I haven't eaten breakfast we had breakfast today at 2:00.
Where'd you go?
Ardmore. I love the Ardmore tea room.
Fuck yes. The best breakfast in Halifax. Ardmore tea room.
Highly recommend. As far as greasy spoons go, it is the bee's nuts.
And so cheap.
It for sure is. Yeah. Yeah.
Excellent. I always get
cheap and greasy. It's cheap. Who I am as a person.
There you go. I always get the breakfast routine with a side waffle, baby.
Yeah, I have never tried that, but I will take your word for it. I just get eggs and bacon because those are the
you can eat that.
Those are the safe things. Yeah.
Well, that's good.
Yeah.
Eggs and bacon are the shit.
Mm-hmm. And
So-
then Otter gets my toast.
Oh, that's so cute.
I do love me some bread.
Some carbs.
Yeah, your levels are super low, my dude. You may have to speak up a little.
I'm just being quiet here, watching cute animal videos. I can't get out of it.
What do you how is Evan doing so far in your mind?
Oh, I hate this question. Don't answer that.
Yeah, I'm gonna plead the fifth on this one.
Plead the fifth on that one, brother.
Whenever he starts talking about his diet, I tune out.
That's true.
That's fair.
That's just a long history of going to restaurants with me, and then I go, "Oh, I'm so sorry, I'm about to be high main," and then he's just gone.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I imagine did it take you a while to learn? Because I think my thing with dietary stuff is if I found out that I couldn't eat dairy for the rest, if I really needed to stay away from dairy, it would take me a lot to adjust to that and figure out foods that I could eat that I would like that are also healthy. Because that's my issue with healthy food is that I just don't, I'm not in love with healthy food. So that's why I don't eat a lot of it. So did you have to?
I'm in love with my version of healthy food, which is probably going to give me a heart attack.
Really?
By 40. Yeah. I've gotten very much into barbecue, so I make sous vide and then smoked briskets, and
yum.
what did I do the other day? It was like a lamb roulade with orange and mint and nonsense, and then we made like a pan sauce, and it's all delightful. I mean, it's all 100% cholesterol, but
right. You make it work. You figure out ways to make it work.
I eat a vegetable or two with it, and then I'm good to go.
What's
Locked
your
and loaded.
What's your cheat meal? I'm gonna treat myself, and this is it. A lot of people would get a.
I feel like a rolled lamb leg is pretty. If that's not cheating, then it's as guilty as I've been known to feel for indulging outside of that.
A lamb leg. I don't think I've ever had that.
You just get the whole shoulder. That's what the roulade was.
Oh, okay.
What you do is you get the full lamb leg, and then you slice it so that it's flat, so that you can put more flavor stuff into it, and then you roll it up and you tie it with butcher's twine, and then you cook it that way. Yeah.
Love me some meat. I don't think I could be a vegetarian.
I couldn't either, only because I'm fucking out of options at that point.
What would you eat?
Eggs and pinto beans, I think. Those are my only two. Yeah, I can still have eggs if I'm vegetarian, right? That counts.
So,
And it doesn't count if the chicken's not born yet, right?
It doesn't count. I'm always terrified of that when I crack an egg. I'm am I going to get a fucking... Because you've... I've seen Reddit posts of, people who are this was my egg this morning, and it's, horrific.
Oh, when they have the little baby chicks inside.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
Not
That's a delicacy some places. They're apparently it's the softest, butteriest meat you'll ever have if you can ignore the fact that
it's a baby chick.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't think I could do that. I don't think I could ignore that fact.
You don't do emotional compartmentalizing. You can't just be I'm just going to ignore everything I believe for a minute to just do the thing that I want to do right now.
Depends on what it is.
Wait, do you have healthy coping mechanisms?
Not at all. What are those?
Because I just go, this is an inconvenient emotion for me right now, and then it goes in a box until I need it again.
I'm not really that great.
And then that guilt chases me for the rest of my life.
I'm not great at I hate this fucking word. Hang on, I got it. There you go. You can just say it for me. I'm really bad at speaking sometimes. Speech impediment.
Are there any other words you would like me to say for you?
Conscience.
Conscience?
There it is.
Oh.
I have an issue with that one.
You have to be conscious of when you're compartmentalizing.
Conscious?
So you have to be conscious of when you're compartmentalizing, because otherwise it will trouble your conscience forever.
There you go.
There we go. That's my.
So do you?
That's my smooth, silky voice.
Do you compartmentalize in relationships?
I don't know. That's a good question. What do you mean specifically? Because I compartmentalize all of my emotions, and then I unpack them days later on all of the things that I do all of the time.
Well, how would you...
I don't react emotionally to things in the moment, typically.
That's kind of what I was getting at. Like, how would you react to a fight or an argument that was very emotional, and say the lady is quite mad at you or emotional about the situation?
I don't think that's happened yet.
Really?
Yeah. My girlfriend is very level-headed and very pragmatic about fights, so we just sort of sort stuff out.
But I also kind of see you as that, so maybe it works.
Yeah, because I don't have to be emotional about it until after. So then, when I unpack all of those emotions, I can just go, "Hey, maybe let's not do this next time," and then we get to go forward adjusting behaviors instead of reacting emotionally to stuff.
That is, you're like the opposite of me, because I'm a react first, deal with it later.
Do seem to have
I love when people make observations about me.
But you seem to have a very live nerve, and then a good assessment of what those emotions are. My issue is not that I don't have the emotions in the moment. I just go, I feel weird and I hate it, but I don't know what it is that's going. Then I have to go reverse engineer that later, because how I feel things is all packed in one of those boxes, and that box has never been opened, which is one of the reasons I'm terrified of ever going to see a professional, because I don't know what the fuck's in there.
I was just going to say, have you ever been to therapy?
No. You know how when you go through the TSA, they're like, did you pack this bag? Have you been with it the entire time? Could someone else have put something in this bag? I don't remember packing the bag. I don't know what's in there, and I don't want the shrink at TSA to be like, hey, this is going to be fucking weird for you.
It is crazy how much early experiences really do impact you. I actually had a realization recently that a trauma I had back my first year of college was exactly the moment when I became a codependent.
Oh.
And
are you comfortable talking about the details of that now?
I think I mentioned it on your episode too.
I'm getting rehashed trauma.
Trauma.
That's very appropriate for the I won't go to a shrink because I don't want to rehash my trauma.
Well,
commentary.
I turned 19, and I got very drunk, and my friends threw me a party, and a couple days later, and honestly, some of these details are murky because I think I did repress it so much, but someone implied that I was ungrateful about my friends throwing me a party. And a big fight happened.
That seems like a minuscule slight for what is currently being described as an underlying trauma.
Story's not done.
Sorry. I won't interrupt. You tell the story. I'm gonna get a drink. You get into it.
But yeah, no, we got into a fight, and there was drinking involved, and it got into a heated fight about how I was ungrateful and I didn't say thank you, and I got very upset, and I think I've had mental illness a lot of my life, and I'm a very dramatic person, very dramatic. So when I feel like when the people in my life are slipping away from me, I will do anything to get them to stay, because I grew up both fearful avoidant attachment style and also anxious preoccupied. I'm a mixture of the two, so I'm a shit show. I had
You're
a weird
in good company here.
There we go. Fearful avoidant.
Thank you, Ari.
And so when they were kind of implying that they were pissed and didn't want to talk to me anymore, I started kind of saying things like, well, I'm going to do something. I was implying I was going to kill myself. And they
that's not great.
They called the cops on me. And the cops were not nice to me.
Oh, that's...
I got put in the back of a cop car.
Are you saying that police react with unnecessary aggression in some situations. Are you saying that potentially when people are having bad times in their lives in which they might not be the most stable, that perhaps having police intervene is not the best option?
Oh, yes, I'm certainly saying that.
Oh, wow. That seems revelatory. Someone should get that shit on the news.
But now
we should actually we should go down to the newsroom and get that. Otter, could you call a cab? Could you call a cab?
I'm on it.
Dope. Thank you.
A cab. It was bad. It was, and then I lost friendships over it. Like, I had a best friend that I never spoke. Like, we never were friends again. And so since then, not only am I afraid to overreact or like that's something I'm afraid to do, but now I'm incredibly scared of making anyone think that I don't appreciate them or like, I don't know. It's people pleasing.
Oh, yeah.
It's extreme people pleasing to an extreme degree. You know, like I had my debates show. I fucked up. I couldn't get drink tickets for all the comics. I was trying to run around and pay for everyone's drinks, and it was just fucking chaos and madness. And I was stressing myself out over a fucking drink. And these are my friends. They're like, "Fuck off, Sarah. We did you're our friend. We'll do your show." Like
we're here to do the show, and we're grateful to be on the show.
But I had to go to my way to message everyone and be like, "I'm so like," because it was just so traumatic to me. Because not only was it like just from the police side of things, very not good because. They just did not handle it well. They were threatening to arrest me, and they put me in a cold room by myself, like for I don't remember how long I was at like the psych ward. It was like a couple hours at least. And for me, it was just a fucking dramatic kid that was like, I wasn't gonna kill I was literally just saying it to
Can
make
I
people
just
care.
say though,
yes.
as someone who's had that threat thrown at them several times.
Yeah.
Eesh.
I know. And that's the thing. I kind of probably traumatized them too. So it's probably like a mixed trauma.
Yeah.
Trauma bond.
Yeah. Instead of going, if you don't do this thing, I'm going to kill myself. What I like to do with my friends who are suicidal is I go, how about we make a pact where neither of us is allowed to kill ourselves until the other is dead. And I have that pact with like 4 different people at this point, and it brought me back off the edge more than once. So shit happens.
It's just wild.
And instead of threats, pack bond with people over being sad and then not killing yourself.
Yeah, but I didn't connect. I didn't connect that until recently.
You were a kid and shit happens and yeah.
But it was only recently that I was like, I'm really codependent, and why? Where did that? I was like trying to think back. I was like, where the fuck did that happen? Because I wasn't like that before college. I really wasn't. But when people think I'm ungrateful, that is a huge trigger for me.
Yeah.
Or when people think that I don't appreciate them, because I appreciate people more than anything else. I'm a people person. Yeah. Like there's place people, there's things people, there's they're people, and I'm a people person. So even though I hate them sometimes.
Yeah. I hate most of them most of the time, but I love some of them all of the time. So it makes it worth it.
Mm-hmm. Do you know what your attachment style is?
No, not at all.
No?
Is there a quiz? Can we do it right now? Can we do it live?
We can do it live if you like. I don't know how long it is, but we can do it. Or we could even just look at the descriptions and we could see. Sure. Or let me actually just see how long a quiz might be. What is your... Otter, do you know yours?
My what, sorry?
Attachment style?
I have no idea what that means even.
Is there one that's just blanket people pleasing? I mean, I'm sorry. I love you, dude. You make me very happy.
I still don't know what the fuck this is about.
It is essentially like how you deal with how you attach to people, and it's a lot of it is. How long is this quiz?
First things first.
Actually, you know what? I don't know.
Name? I don't think they need to know that.
I think it's just like attachmentstyle.ca. Like there's a main website for it that I did mine on.
Is this the part we're going to edit out?
We can edit this. Sarah, you're doing a great job. None of your friends hate you.
Oh, you're
a good. You're a good person. You try your best, and
do you have to self-talk about being a good person? That's a genuine question. All of my like talking myself back off the edge. That's never even a thing that comes up for me.
I have been trying to manifest more, but not in a cheesy way. Not in a cheesy way. More.
So you're not manifesting Parmesan. Because like you should be, because Parmesan makes most people incredibly happy. I mean,
Parmesan cheese?
It makes me nauseous. Yeah.
Oh, it's so good.
You said cheesy. I was.
Oh my God, Evan.
Yeah, there's puns.
Well, let's just try this. Okay.
Sure.
Okay. I can be very emotionally present with others, friends, families, partners, strangers, but it takes me a while to build trust and share.
Vulnerable things about myself.
True or false?
So I think we're going to have to say true, but I disagree with the wording. I can be very emotionally present with others is
not true.
False. But the level of emotional presence that I am capable of always takes a super long time to develop.
I think you're emotionally present because when I was stressed out at the live show, you did a good job of like comforting me.
Oh, I read people well, but that's trauma.
God damn it, Evan. Holy shit, you're this is interesting. Okay, so are we going to go with true?
Yeah.
Okay. It sucks that there's no like
I
in
often
answer.
put other people in my life on a big pedestal. No.
False? Okay. I feel
the people in my life are great, but we're all broken fucking weirdos.
We truly are.
So, and being there to be able to go, oh, they're having a broken weirdo moment, and then supporting them in that moment is super practical in getting past that moment.
Very true.
I feel naturally comfortable and safe expressing my feeling and needs to loved ones. Do you want to fill that one out for me? Can we just say false now?
False on that one. I feel very upset
when others infringe on my need for space or time alone. Very true.
Ooh, interesting. I feel like I can predict what your attachment style is now.
Okay.
I think that you are going to be fearful avoidant, but let's just keep going.
That does sound like who I am as a person. By attachment style, is it just confrontation style? Because that's fearful avoidant is accurate. I am willing to work through challenges in a relationship before suddenly trying to leave the relationship itself. If you're not in a relationship, think of how you would handle conflict in a partnership. True or false? So this is a thing that I'm working on for myself, but I would say as a default standard for who I am as a person, it's people please, cut and run. So I think we're going to have to say...
You probably have some codependency.
False.
False?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm working more for it to be true, and I'm trying to be conscious of that. But my default position is
that's what you go what you go to.
My default position is put up a facade that the person will like until they love me, and then once I can't stand who I'm becoming in that relationship, cut and run.
Jesus, there's no. It makes total sense that you're friends with Otter.
Oh yeah, we're broken sad boys. It's fine.
But I'm with you guys. Like I'm in this with you. Like
so, for those of you who are listening for the questions, the next question, number 6, is: I tend to be out of touch with my emotions quite frequently. And for your guest tonight, Evan Steeves, that is so fucking true. I don't know why I'm doing
I love this. No, this is
okay.
This is great. Let's keep going.
If anyone needs me for voiceover work or ASMR, please let me know. You can contact me at Man Screaming in the Street That's not true. That would make me so uncomfortable. Even watching people do that makes me so uncomfortable. 7, I am very attuned to others' needs and often put them before my own and resent it later. Absolutely. Yeah, buddy.
I
Slam
love this
dunk.
quiz so much. It's so enlightening.
Can I double down on the true for
it's
that?
It's not even just a true. It's a fuck yes.
Yeah. 8, I constantly want to be emotionally closer to my partner. This can also apply to my close friendships or romantic interests. I'm not going to lie. That is a thing that I am working on being better at. Mm-hmm. But I feel safer when I'm more emotionally distant.
Okay.
So I would say false. But again, something I'm working on because...
You're going to be fearful of avoidant.
Great. I'm glad we did this when you could have just...
I just know it's going to be... I'm going to get a lot of satisfaction when it's correct. Okay.
How mad are you going to be if it's not?
Well, I know it's not secure because I don't think... It's very rare for... Because secure is the best one. A secure attachment.
What do you mean the best one? There's a competition? You didn't tell me that there's a competition when we fucking started. I thought this was like a personality type quest where it doesn't matter what you have.
You actually will get a percentage for each one. So you'll have like your highest one and then like you'll have...
Oh, sick. So
yeah.
I can... So what you're saying is not only can I not get the best one, but I can fail at the best one. Yep. Sick. That's what I wanted.
We can do this.
Can we cut and run the quiz now? Because that's what I want to do.
We are still on it. I'm effective at compromising and communicating.
Oh, I was gonna. Okay.
Oh, okay. Do you want to do it? You do it.
Question number 9. I am effective at compromising. Number 9. I am effective at compromising and communicating. True.
Yeah, I'd say so.
10. It is very difficult for me to set boundaries unless I am angry. I can sometimes set excessive boundaries and push people away too dramatically out of anger. I feel weird about this one because I don't do boundaries when I'm angry. That's not true. I have, but that was a deeply toxic relationship. But the rest is true. It tends not to be an anger thing. I get angry on my own and then I do stuff after I'm chill again.
Okay.
So let's go true.
True. Okay.
I tend to set boundaries after I feel other people have overstepped.
Well, okay.
Right? Like,
that's people pleasing.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're doormat.
Thanks.
Sorry.
It's okay.
I wouldn't say it unless...
It's all right. Worse things have happened to better people. I'll be just fine.
I wouldn't say it unless
unless
we're both doormats, so I can say it.
Yeah. No, that's fair.
Although setting boundaries, I gotta say, is quite empowering. I recently did it with like a boss, like that I've been terrified of setting boundaries with for a long time, and it felt really good. I gotta say, just to be like,
I just self-sabotaged at the job where my boss was an asshole until I could leave and go to a better company.
Self-sabotage is fun.
It's great.
There's a lot of vocal fry there. Sorry, listeners.
Vocal fry.
All right, number 11.
Isn't that the guy in Futurama? I think he has lines sometimes.
Oh, Fry. Yeah.
It's a bad pun. I'm sorry. Number 11. If I notice my partner showing any signs of coldness, I panic and want to get closer as quickly as possible. This often happens to me in friendships as well. Panic is true. The getting closer is not. I tend to give people space.
Okay. So I think...
Like I never want to talk about it right away because talking about people's emotions with people while they're being emotional is an easy way to get screamed down and start a fight that I never wanted to have.
That's very true.
So,
but I think that the one to get closer as quickly as possible is the bigger factor in this question. So maybe we go with false on that.
I don't know.
Are you more likely to...
It feels true because I'll panic about it for the 48 hours or 12 hours or whatever it is that I have to wait for them to be in a better place so I can talk to them about it.
Mm-hmm.
So the want to do that is there.
Okay.
So the want to get closer is true.
So maybe let's go true then.
Yeah. I want to find a solution to the problem as quickly as possible.
Right.
But in my experience, trying to find a solution to the problem in the moment is a fucking problem.
Is it ever?
12. It is not uncommon for me to experience inward emotional turbulence throughout the duration of my romantic relationship. This applies to close family members as well. Nah. Usually I don't register the emotions until they boil over, and then I do the cut and run thing that we talked about before.
Cut and run.
Cut and run.
False.
Also, if you would like to follow along and take the quiz for yourself, you can do so at attachment.personaldevelopmentschool.com.
And it'll email you a detailed report. It's really cool.
Are we doing... Did you want to do 13? Or should I read it again?
I think it's got to be you. You got the voice down pat. You got it down pat, Evan.
Number 13.
You really do have a good ASMR voice.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate that.
So does Richie Bell. He has
Does he?
really sharp S's. And that really gets my ASMR going. When someone has a sharp S.
That gets my ASMR going. Look at her go.
The engine revving.
Yeah. Number 13. I often feel very hot or very cold towards my partner or family members. I tend to operate in extremes on how I relate to others, and that, for me, is false. Like I said before, because I tend to be emotionally detached in most situations, I run hard neutral.
Right.
Which is, I think, just a factor of how long I was depressed and how I integrated that into how I felt about people. Which is a weird thing. Yeah.
We're all figuring it out. Like, I feel like...
Yeah, we'll see.
I truly do think being aware is the hardest step, and it's the first step. Being aware of, like,
are we
why
doing
you're fucked up.
That admitting you have a problem is the first... Are we doing a 12-step right now?
Let's do an
You brought up AA.
What's the intoxicated 12 steps? Okay. Admit you have a problem. No, we can't come up with 12. That's too many steps.
Admit you're sad.
Admit you're sad as fuck.
Yeah. Talk to Sarah about being sad as fuck. Come up with 3 different solutions to being sad as fuck. Realize that coming up with solutions isn't the key to not being sad as fuck. It's recognizing that fixing your life is important, but embracing a point of view on your life that lets you not be sad as fuck is equally important. Still being sad as fuck, but being self-aware that you're sad as fuck. Surrounding yourself with a positive environment and healthy outlets to be less sad as fuck. Being less sad as fuck. Using those techniques to reinforce those things and then seek out help eventually to be even less sad as fuck. Following the guidelines of professionals. And then once again being less sad as fuck, and then coming back on the podcast to discuss with Sarah.
I was hoping you would say that in there.
Yeah, of course. And that's the end. After that, you're worthless to us anymore.
Yeah, you're done.
Yeah, you can find a bridge.
I love that.
Except you can't jump off it because you're no longer sad as fuck. Ha! You've been hoodwinked into being mentally healthy. Ta-da!
Bam!
That's the McClellan 12-step.
I love that. 14.
14. I know that I am worthy of a healthy, happy relationship. Nah. This again is one that I have complex feelings about.
Yeah.
But I can't unpack those, so I'll get back to you in 2 weeks. No.
I feel like every episode with you needs to have a follow-up.
Yeah, exactly. So I know that I am worthy of a happy, healthy relationship is sort of a non sequitur for me, because I think that I deserve to make someone happy who doesn't make me unhappy. But the pursuit of a healthy healthy, happy relationship as a pursuit of a healthy, happy relationship as a singular entity is ridiculous to me, because it should instead be a daily pursuit of making a relationship healthier and happier. And you don't have to find someone who is healthy and happy and have an instant healthy, happy relationship. You have to
work out
find someone who you can tolerate, I guess, and then work towards having a healthy, happy relationship with that person, so long as they're also willing to work at having a healthy, happy relationship.
I feel like this is just another way of asking, I know I'm worthy of love.
Oh, I'm...
Like, I feel like that, like...
I'm not, but I think it's dope that I get to have it anyway.
Fuck you.
What?
I'm just joking. Oh man, that's funny.
I mean, yeah.
That's so. Where would you go with this one if you had to pick true or false?
I'm going false for sure.
Okay. I think we're getting close to the end.
Number 15. When I feel hurt by a loved one, I often have a strong fight or flight response. This is going to be true. I find myself wanting... I don't even have to read the rest, but I'm going to. For all you ASMR listeners out there. All right.
Wait.
Can I ruin it now?
No, that's definitely...
The microphone did not like that, and neither did I. That went right up my nose. No, it's my own fault for what I was wearing.
I just swallowed on the mic.
Oh, nice. Oh, I probably impeded
We're
that.
not going to take that clip out of context. That would be a bad one to get me canceled.
I can stand if everyone needs to see that I have pants on. Sorry, we were talking about number 15 on the attachment.personaldevelopmentschool.com website. Number 15. When I feel hurt by a loved one, I often have a strong fight or flight response. I find myself wanting to push this person as far away as possible. Period, bracket, friends, comma, family, comma, romantic relationship, close bracket, and then period, which is grammatically correct, even though it looks weird as fuck.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, my copywriter sense was tingling.
That's fair.
Yeah, hence the fucking cut and run shit we've been talking about the whole time.
That's true.
Yeah. Is that we don't have to talk about that one further? That was pretty obvious from all of the
I think
things
that's
I've
pretty
expressed
obvious.
so far.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm obvious now. Here I thought I was complex and nuanced, and maybe even someday a human being.
I feel like I've gotten a good grip on you. But
after the swallowing comment, I don't feel comfortable with that. I don't feel safe. I need an adultier adult.
Oh my lord.
Number 16. I do not feel as though I need anything from my romantic partner or loved ones. It can be difficult to conceptualize how others would meet a lot of my needs, which is true. Yeah.
I do not feel... Oh, I'm just rereading that. Need anything from... It can be difficult to conceptualize.
I feel the need to be entirely independent because it frees me of the risk of needing someone else.
That's fair.
Is the undercut of that, and I do.
Independent to a fault is something that I think I am too, kind of in a weird way. Where it's like I really want intimacy, but I have no idea. Like I don't.
Is that a fearful whatever it is? Trait?
Yes. Yeah.
What's the actual thing that we're driving towards with this test that we're overdoing because you already know what the answer is going to be?
Well, I'm fearful. Wait, what did I say that I was? I'm not fearful avoidant. I'm fearful. There's fearful avoid. Let's complete it because there's a couple options. So. Cool.
Number 17. I do not enjoy being out of okay. Number 17. This is whenever I have to do voiceover stuff for work, I just always get weird after. And then the lovely, lovely, amazing human being who does all of the video cuts. She's such a fucking sweetheart. She's one of my favorite people I work with. She just has to listen to all of the weirdness of me trying to emotionally reset before doing another take.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Do you do vocal warm-ups?
No.
No?
Not usually.
Okay. I'm always wondering with that with stand-up. One issue that I'm having with stand-up is that I'm spitting so much when I'm up there.
Do you just not like the people in the front row? Or
No, it's just like I'm just what's the word? I got a lot of saliva.
So, part of the trouble is I'm just a very phlegmy person.
I got a lot of fluids.
Just a very phlegmy person.
I'm a fluidy lady. All around.
I have a similar issue, except being a lady.
Yeah, there you go.
I'm not especially masculine, but I think I'm still technically what's qualified as a man. Not that, that's not performative anyway.
There you go. What was this? Oh yeah.
But yeah, I tend to get dry mouth real bad on stage.
Oh, I'm fucking the opposite, man. Holy shit. I spit so much.
It just gets very sticky, which is not a thing that you want when you're trying to pronounce your words.
It's also, for me, it's not good in COVID times that I'm spitting everywhere.
I mean, it's fine for you.
Yeah, I guess. But I don't like it. I'd like to try to figure it out. All right, 17.
Oh, yeah. Number 17. I do not enjoy being out of romantic relationships. I often fear being alone. False. This is exactly the same as the last question, except in the other direction. Mm-hmm. Aggressive independence, so I never have to worry about whether or not someone leaving me is going to ruin my whole life.
For me, that was a big true.
That was a big true?
Big
you worry about whether people leaving you is going to ruin your whole life?
Well, I worry about being alone constantly.
Fair.
But I'm so used to being alone as the weird thing.
I adore being alone. I prefer to be alone, and then I go because it means I don't have to be anxious about socially interacting with people. It's one of the few times in my life where I get to genuinely be relaxed.
That is actually very understandable.
Yeah. But then there's also the part of me that needs to talk to people, or I'm going to, go walk off a bridge. And so stand-up is a really nice balance for me because I don't actually have to have conversations with the people. I can just top up on all of my social at once and then fuck off back to my hole.
Yeah, I actually find that with a lot of stand-ups, actually. They're very different off stage.
Introverted.
Yeah. And then they have a really great energy on stage, but off stage they introvert in.
I'm like that, except I don't have great energy on stage.
Yes, you do. Shut up. This is like my first time seeing you, and very funny.
I have a fun energy on stage. I'm just not very energetic. I'm not a performative comic.
That's okay though.
Oh yeah, it takes all kinds.
It takes all kinds.
Does that mean we should get like a firefighter in here and a biker and
firefighter's been in here many times.
Wow, that's
my hookup buddy's a firefighter.
Oh, I was just gonna say you gotta stop starting fires because you're lonely.
The only fire I start is in my pants.
That's if you feel a burning sensation, please consult your physician.
Yeah, it's probably one of my jokes actually about how he's a firefighter and how he constantly is thinks he has chlamydia and thinks he gave me chlamydia. And one of my better jokes actually that gets really good laughs every time, which is this guy's a crappy firefighter because I don't know what he's been spraying on me all this time that's not working because I might have chlamydia.
Gotcha. Is that why you started doing stand-up so you could get clapped someplace else?
Oh my God, Jesus Christ. All right, let's get through this fucking quiz.
He's got jokes.
We're going to be here all night if we don't get fucking through this.
Rogan length episode. Am I right?
But Otter's going to fall asleep soon.
That's all right. He was already asleep just now. Yep. 18. Can we submit just an episode that is the Otter cam without any of us? That's just his feed and his mic.
I wish.
So you can watch a man fall asleep in real time.
I don't think I can. I wish I could record both at the same time. But I haven't.
Oh, it only records when it switches.
Whatever one it's on
fair.
here. Yeah, unless we did the reaction cam thing. Anyways, 18.
Number 18. If a loved one's behavior hurts me, I will express my feelings and try to understand what caused them to act that way. And that, for me... You're going to click it?
This one?
Yeah.
False,
False.
baby. Holy fuck, how long is this quiz?
19. I hunger for closeness, but I fear the emotional difficulty of it at the same time. Friends, family, romantic partners. Absolutely true.
I hunger for closeness, but I feel... Oh, okay. Okay. So true?
Yeah.
Okay.
I tend to prioritize a low-maintenance life. And so putting my emotional needs over my emotional comfort tends to happen a lot. Or, sorry, my emotional comfort over my emotional needs is the order in which I want that to be recorded.
Oh, I
for
like
all
that.
time in a podcast. Hey. 20. I do not like making social plans with others in advance. I often fear being trapped by commitments with other people. True.
Yes.
Because then I know if I have to back out of those social plans, I'll feel guilt and anxiety forever and ever and ever. Amen. 21. I feel that setting boundaries comes naturally to me. False. I am terrible at setting boundaries. I let people set boundaries until I can't stand those boundaries anymore, and then I ruin things. Because it's so much easier to light matches than it is to build walls.
Ooh.
22. I focus.
I like that quote.
Thank you. Can I get that on a T-shirt? Is there going to be intoxicated T-shirts? Because
I would love to. It's in the works.
Sick.
But I think
I'm
it's
about it.
I have a couple ideas, but I'm open for.
I would love one with like a match over the pocket on the front, and then that quote on the back.
Well, we'll say it again. The quote.
It's
easier
idea.
to light easier to light matches than to build walls.
Yeah.
Fuck, I love that. Jesus.
Yeah. 22. I fuck it. I
fuck it. Much more on the.
I focus much more on the relationships in my life than I do on myself. True.
Jesus. I wish there was like a progress bar so we knew how many questions
me
left.
too. This feels like an eternity.
It really does.
For us, I hope it doesn't to you, the lovely listener who's...
It's good conversation starters. Number 23.
23. I often feel protective over my space, privacy, and belongings. True. I hope that is not true of you, because I'm currently squishing the life out of the cushion that I'm sitting on.
I don't care about the cushions.
Oh, good, because it's exploding out beneath me.
The cat fucking rips them open, and I have to replace them all the time. It's so fucking annoying. Let's fucking power through these.
Okay. 24. I generally feel invaded when my partner or loved ones demand too much physical affection. True. I'm overdoing the reads now. They're going to come out all messed up. 25. I would prefer to spend most of my free time with my partner. If I were to be in a romantic relationship, it would be hard for me to want to do things separately. False. I very much need separate space.
Yeah, that's so fucking important.
I adore hanging out with her, and we have a blast together. But I also, if I have a full week where I'm doing stuff with people every single night, my head begins to explode. 26. I feel that it is easy to be vulnerable with my romantic partner or loved ones. Pretty sure we know what the answer is there.
Yeah, let's go. It's easy for me. Yeah, I actually think now you're. I said fearful avoidant, but you might be more dismissive avoidant. You're gonna be a combo of the two.
Cool. Either way, confrontation.
Avoidant.
Bye-bye.
You're gonna be all avoidant, I bet. All right.
Sick. 27. I find that my partner or loved ones usually emotionally recover from conflict before I do. True.
Really?
Yeah. I get to be. I have emotional turmoil over all of the decisions I've ever made in my life while I fall asleep every night. It's great.
Okay, that's fair because you repress them. That's right. Okay.
Yeah. So they get to show up randomly whenever they feel like it, which is super convenient.
I was gonna say it's super rude.
Yeah, I was being sarcastic. But
I have a bad sarcasm meter. That's something about me that's like I fucking hate. I hate that
I noticed that because the people who register sarcasm easily also register puns easily.
Yeah.
Because it's an inflection change.
Yeah.
Typically.
It takes me a second.
Yeah.
28.
I deeply fear being abandoned by my partner or love interest. False.
Here we go.
Fill out the name below. First name.
Do you
Evan.
Want now if we send it to your email, we're gonna have to
let's go to yours.
So let's just say I'll just send it to Intoxicated's Gmail.
Oh, nice. You spelled it correctly. There are people in New Brunswick where like every third person is a Steeves who still spell it Steves, which like that's Steves, and that's Steves.
You are dismissant avoidant. 47% is your highest one.
Dismissive. Does that mean I get to leave now? I'm just kidding. This is a blast.
Secure is your lowest because secure is everybody's lowest.
Yeah, I'm 7% secure. And on a loading bar, that means you're going to be here for the next 4 hours with a dial-up internet connection.
And then your second one is fearful avoidant, which okay. So I knew you would be the combo of these.
I refuse to address it, and when I do address it, I'm scared. Nice, love it.
So let's
Dismissive avoidant is, do you find yourself fearing commitment and constantly craving space and freedom? I'd love space because it's a void out there and I don't have to breathe anymore.
I think that, I'm going to turn this off because now I'm in email. I think there's a more detailed answer here.
Oh, great.
Okay. So.
Are we reading this too?
Yeah, we can read this. I'll read some. So this means that you are,
Can we start with you?
Start with me? Yeah.
No, the word you in the sentence above.
Oh, wait. You are getting this email. That one?
Yeah.
You are getting this email today because your primary attachment style is dismissive avoidant.
This means you highly value autonomy and independence and can feel overwhelmed in a relationship when your partner, friends, or family member becomes overbearing emotionally or otherwise.
When you feel overwhelmed, you are likely to withdraw and you place high importance on having enough personal space.
Dismissive avoidants tend to do this because in childhood they were, this is too much already. In childhood, they were often emotionally neglected. This taught them on a subconscious level that the only person they could rely on was themselves. I hate this. This emotional neglect can take place in overt or covert, often subtle, close bracket, ways.
Jeez.
Therefore, in adulthood, this was your...
No, you keep going.
Okay.
You keep going.
Therefore, in adulthood, vulnerability can feel uncomfortable and will cause you to subconsciously withdraw from what you perceive to be making you vulnerable. This can cause turmoil in a relationship, especially when conflict arises and the dismissive avoidant recoils and does not effectively work through it. The good news is your subconscious wounds can be healed. Gross. I hate that fucking sentence.
And this is where they plug their YouTube channel.
I officially don't trust literally anything that's happened in this show. Your subconscious wounds can be healed. For only $9.99 a month, our preacher can come send you oils in the mail and take all your money. Anyway, the end of the sentence is, and you can still be a wonderful partner, friend, or family member, which is great because before I thought I was just going to be a serial murderer. Like, what the fuck?
Right.
You can still be a good person. Get out of here with your assumption that I didn't think that I could still be a human being. And then they plug their YouTube.
Which is this is how they get
channel.
you. This is how they get you.
With gratitude.
This is how they get you on
the
the
closing
email
to
list.
the email. It says, with gratitude.
Yeah.
Thighs? Is that pronounced thighs? Thais.
Thias?
Thias.
Thias? I would say
as
thias.
In Matthias?
I don't know. Thias. Yeah.
Thias?
Not sure.
I don't know.
What do you think about that? Was that enlightening for you?
We knew where that was going already.
Right, but now that you know, I would look into both fearful avoidant and dismissive avoidant, like read more about both those ones. It might illuminate.
But I don't.
Yeah, I guess you're right. Like you already knew. Like it's just putting a label on what you already knew.
Yeah, I have words to describe some of my weirdness, but I don't think there was enough in the test that fully encaptured not only my weirdness, but how weirdly I'm trying to manage my own weirdness. If that makes sense. Do you know what I mean?
Manage your weirdness.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like that's everyone's job. You manage your weirdness so you can not fuck up the people around you.
It's very true. It's getting late, so we're going to wrap, but I'm going to ask you two more quick questions.
Oh, sick. Do we get a beat before we...
Get a beat?
Yeah, before we wrap.
Oh, for fuck's sakes.
Is this going to be like a...
Oh, my God.
You don't quite look like Wayne Brady. I believe in it. Sorry.
Okay. Two final questions for Evan Steeves. So, I mean, I think this whole episode was talking about both of these things, but we're gonna put a nice little a little bow on everything. Something you really like about yourself, okay, and something you don't like that you're working on.
The thing that I don't like that I'm working on.
We're gonna start with the negative.
Yeah, I have to come up with the positive. I'm buying myself time.
Okay.
To find something I like about myself that isn't just I'm usually pretty good at making other people happy, because that's not a true positive about myself. It's just what I tend to value about who I am as a person.
Fair.
Things that I'm working on. I am currently working very hard on being forthright in the relationships that matter to me. Mm-hmm. To avoid the resentment that might otherwise drive the people that I care about away.
That's
or
good.
Drive me away from the people that I care about. But we talked about that already.
That's really good, though.
Yeah.
How old are you?
I'm 28.
Okay.
I'm going to be 29 in... What day are we today? Like a month? Yeah. A month and 3 days. I'll be 29.
A month and 3 days,
A month and 3 days, yeah.
So when...
Day before Halloween. I'm very nearly the devil,
Scorpio?
but I'm working hard to bring myself back. Yes.
Fascinating.
Yeah.
I would have never
Which describes many of my previous relationships, which is try and hold on and get fucking stung.
I would have never suspected a Scorpio. That's wild. You gotta have more... I don't even know.
Are people born around...
I would need to see your full chart, because that doesn't make sense to me that you're a Scorpio.
Can we... Oh, no. We don't have time for this.
We do not have time. Do you have your exact birth time, though?
No.
Okay. Well, text it. Find out. Text your mom.
Oh, I for sure can't be like, hey, a friend of mine's going to look up my star birth chart. My dad's a pharmacist. My mom teaches at a Baptist university. They're both fairly conservative people. That's going to go over like a bag of hammers.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
Yeah.
Got you.
Yeah. I grew up in a fairly aggressively Christian home.
Damn. Okay, you gotta come back on. We gotta talk more. You'll be back next time you're in town. You'll be back.
Sure.
We'll pre-book your intoxicated appointment.
I can for sure say that that's going to happen, because I, as we discussed, can't say no to things. So
none of us can.
You have my time literally whenever.
I love it. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for coming on, because this
welcome.
was really fascinating.
Yeah.
And it was really fun getting to know you better.
Are we going with I make people happy to my own detriment as the positive thing about me? Because I feel like that's a hard place to leave.
Well, what okay, let's not include, don't think about anyone else. Okay? Like, what's something
physically
that you
not possible for me as a person?
Sakes, Jesus Christ. Like something about your personality. Like if a close friend was to compliment you, what do you think that they would say?
They would.
That he makes me happy.
Yeah, that's literally exactly what
he's
that is.
He's so accommodating.
Yeah, they would say
needs.
he's very caring, and he's a really good listener, and he's always there when I really need him.
Good listener is a good one.
Yeah, it's fear.
Part of, oh my Lord.
Yeah. I have a theory, and it's not a good theory, and it's not followed up by the facts. But I have a theory that is, the majority of people who are highly empathetic end up with high empathy from trauma.
Yes.
Because they end up trying to predict what the people in their lives will be set off by before those things happen.
Yep.
And so they end up reading those people.
Yep.
And so they end up sacrificing who they are as people to accommodate the people around them.
Yep.
The people who benefit from that now are all people I love dearly and care about, and who don't cause me trauma. So that's great, and I love that. But it doesn't.
There's a reason why people are empathetic. Yeah, absolutely.
Other people get to be happy because I'm sad, and I'm glad that someone's getting a benefit. But still sad.
There's a book about this called like forgot the name, but like it's on like I've been hearing about this book about being an empath. Like it's like is it True Empath? I don't actually remember the title. It has empath in the title. The True Empath, nice. Or like understanding. I don't even know, but I've heard about this book that it talks about empathy and stuff like that.
I think I have one.
Do you?
Yeah. I think the thing I like best about myself is my ability to pursue joy in ridiculous circumstances, regardless of what's going on around me.
To find some sort of positive or
no,
joy.
Just to look for goofy, weird stuff that makes me smile and to pursue those things instead of pursuing whatever in my life has negativity. I feel like there are many people who, when negative things are happening around them, they want to know all of the details of those negative things.
That's me.
Yeah, and I hate that. It makes me feel icky.
Mm-hmm.
So I go and icky, really? I mean, it's exactly how it makes me feel.
Not great.
No, it makes me feel icky.
Mm-hmm.
It just like I need a fucking shower after half of the like people will post stuff online that I'm like, that just emotionally that makes me feel gross.
Right. Wait, sorry. When you say that they want to know all the details, like, what do you mean by that?
So imagine someone like a peripheral family member, like an aunt or a cousin or some sort of shit, posted something that was something that you would say is morally unconscionable. Let's say you have an aunt who's a racist.
Okay.
Right? And they post whatever their alt-right meme of the day is on their Facebook wall, and it comes up on your Facebook wall. Do you go in, interact with it, read all of the comments, and soak in all of the bullshit because you like that's...
I don't go that far. When you said that, I thought you meant I guess that depends. That's kind of strange. Like if a big world event happens, like a big tragedy, I can get sucked into that.
That's fair. I'm
catastrophic.
I'm addicted to the news. But once I find that I'm rabbit holing on a piece of news that isn't teaching me anything anymore, and I'm just soaking up negativity, then I feel the need, like on all of those things where everyone's posting negative shit. I know it's important at some point to say things to shitty people that are, hey, don't be so shitty. Mm-hmm. But I don't feel the need to do that personally because there are so many people who pull validation from that, and all that does is drain me.
There you go.
I would rather go find something that brings me joy,
and
then be effusively positive to the people who are doing the thing that brings joy, because I think that has a similar balancing effect in the can we at any point do something to move society forward,
right?
And also doesn't add to my sadness.
No, that's good. That's good that you have control over that. Yeah.
So being able to pursue joy in ridiculous and arbitrary ways, as opposed to pursuing negativity.
Mm-hmm. Well done. That's a good one.
Oh, thanks.
That's a good one.
I feel like a psychology textbook, but I'm trying my best.
I fucking love psychology stuff. I could fucking talk about this shit for hours. But
we have to wrap the episode.
It's close to 3 a.m., so we gotta wrap her up. But where can people find you, follow you? Can people follow you?
I mean, ideally not home, but they can. That feels hacked. Is that hacked? Do people say that a lot?
No, I don't think anyone's ever said that.
Oh, good.
It's actually quite original. I don't think anyone has said that.
Oh, that's
before.
Oh, shucks. But probably the best place to follow me would be on Instagram. Is it sad that I have to look up my own?
Is it just at Evan
It's
Steeves?
literally just at Evan.Steeves.
I will link below to your Instagram.
Oh, shucks. Yeah, so that's me.
Yeah, follow and on TikTok.
And on TikTok, I don't remember what that one is. I think it might be gluten-free entertainment.
Okay.
Which I think is very funny because it let me write the tagline, all of the funny, none of the bloat.
Oh, I love that.
Which brings me joy, but there's not really much on there.
Well, there you go. But man, just another place, you know.
Yeah.
You know, follows help comedians.
If you're on TikTok and you want to see more of my dumb face saying dumb things,
then
finding joy.
There you go.
Let's all find joy together.
Let's find the joy.
But joy with a Y, not with an I. That's not my thing. Hey, he's got puns.
You got so many puns.
Look at me go. Cool.
Big thank you for coming on, though. This was excellent.
Oh, yeah, this was a blast.
This was really, really fun. And you get to end the episode by ringing the bell.
Ding, ding.
It's the Intoxicated battle cry.